love working with young children? Do you want to help educate them the best way that you can? If you do, one way is to implement developmentally appropriate practices into your teaching. So you don't know what developmentally appropriate practices are? Well, that's okay, because by the end of this presentation, you will have a better understanding of developmentally appropriate practices and how to incorporate them into your classroom. Developmentally appropriate practices are based on the developmental needs of children in your care. There are two aspects: age appropriateness and individual appropriateness. Age appropriateness means to give children toys and activities that are right for their age. For example, you do not want to give a 2-year-old child a 100-piece puzzle. It would be far too advanced for them and they wouldn't be able to put it together. Individual appropriateness means giving toys and activities that are right for their level of mental development. Every child develops at a different speed. For example, you may have one 2-year-old child who can easily put together a 5-piece puzzle, and another 2-year-old child who would struggle with that same puzzle. When designing developmentally appropriate practices, they should be designed for the age group being served, taking into consideration the specific needs and differences of each child, including culture and language. Experiences for children should be interesting and mentally challenging, as well as active and enjoyable. So now that we have a better understanding of what developmentally appropriate practices are, how do we incorporate that into the classroom? One way is, for the children's environment, it should be well organized, clearly defined, and easily accessible. This means that toys should be kept where children can get to them without needing a teacher's assistance. By doing that, they will also be able to learn how to pick up toys and clean up after themselves. This should always be encouraged. When arranging the furniture, make sure that you arrange the furniture to promote both small group interaction and group discussion. You want to have a large enough area to allow everyone to sit together. This is where you can read to the children, sing songs, and teach them basic skills like the alphabet, counting, shapes, and colors. You should always allow for this activity every day. The amount of time that you set aside for this will vary based on the age of the child that you're caring for. The younger that the child is, the less time that you will need. For an example, if I was working with 2-year-olds, I would allow no more than 10 minutes. From my experience with working with young children, I have found that they learn best when they can construct their own knowledge and figure things out for themselves. As children grow, they develop and gain new skills and experiences that facilitate learning. There are many things that you can do to help facilitate learning. Possibly the most important thing is to be responsive to children's questions. Children ask many questions. You also need to make sure that you give them enough time to play, encourage friendship, provide choice, encourage physical activity, help them understand limits, and allow for independence. Another very important thing to do is offer open-ended activities. These are activities that are a lot less structured. They allow the children to use their imagination. As an example of an open-ended activity is block play. There are many different things that children can do with blocks. Lastly, when interacting with children, ask lots of open questions. These are questions that either have no correct answer or more than one correct answer. An example of an open-ended question would be, what colors do you see? Well, I hope that this information has been helpful. I hope that you use this teaching technique in your work with young children. To further your understanding of developmentally appropriate practices, there are many topics that you can research. Some of these are character building, the importance of playtime, behavior, diversity, learning styles, and ethnic differences. As you can see, there are many ways to incorporate developmentally appropriate practices into your teaching. Just using a few of these ideas will help you in your work with young children. Thank you.